What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Siege Omega Supreme. This is the latest in the Titan class figures from the Transformers line, and this is the first Titan class from the Siege line. And yeah, it's another in a recent wave of very large figures that I've picked up, and it looks really, really cool. This is supposed to be, I think it's going to be even bigger than maybe, certainly bigger than Trypticon. I don't know if it's going to be bigger than Metroplex or Fort Max, but yeah, it looks really, really nice in everything that I've seen. Of course, looks like, you know, the Siege style of figure, of course. Really nice artwork on the package. It is a little hard to see. I apologize. It is very large, so I'm trying to do the best I can with the amount of space that I have. But you can see that artwork a little bit there. On the top, some really cool artwork as well. You've got all the Siege Autobots here lined up. Very, very nice. Then on the back, we've got an image of the robot mode, Autobot countdown, of course the tank mode, and command center mode as well, with the rocket in the center. Converts in 37 steps, which seems like kind of a lot, to be honest. I thought this might be a little bit more of a simple transformation, but that's okay. And not really anything worth mentioning on the sides of the box. We can take a look at the bottom. Yeah, nothing really going on there. So this just arrived today from Target.com, which currently has them in stock. At least the last time I checked, they did. So yeah, I'm just very, very excited to have it in hand finally. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out of the box, and we're going to check him out right now. Alright guys, so before we get too far into it, I just want to take a look at the accessories really quickly. So first of all, you've got these blast effects that come with Omega here. And you've got a whole bunch of options. I don't think these actually come apart, I'm not sure. Oh, they do, okay. Yeah, so you've got all these various blast effects that actually come with the figure. You've got 3 of these kind of blast tips, I guess, and then 4 of these sort of explosion kind of dealies. And they're really cool. It's a very nice thing to have included, and I feel they add a lot to the figure. One thing I have noticed is that if you have all of these kind of rocket blasts all lined up together, they're actually too heavy for Omega to hold straight. Like, his arm can certainly hold them up, but this little peg here just is not strong enough to hold the weight of all of these, and they'll start to like droop in his weapon or whatever, you know, whatever's going on there. So just keep that in mind. But you can certainly, and this is what I've done, is just kind of shorten it down a little bit, and then it's able to hold it no problem. So that's really, really cool. I'm glad they included them, and you know, they're of course compatible with all the other Siege figures. They even have the tiny, you know, the 3mm port as well, so you can attach them pretty much anywhere. So that's really neat. It's just nice to have a whole bunch of new options, just like with Jetfire. So that's really nice. Then, of course, you have Countdown here, the little Micromaster that is included with Omega Supreme. And he's a little, like, radar vehicle. And his transformation is very simple from vehicle to robot. You just remove his arms from his not even really pegged pegs. And then you just flip his legs down. And if you're feeling sporting, you can rotate his little dish down as well. but you don't have to. You can even put it up over his head if you were feeling some kind of way. But I like it down a little bit. And he's a nice looking little figure. He's got some very nice definition in his face sculpt. He's got little painted eyes, some little weapons on his shoulders, and one on his arm there. It looks like, yeah, both arms. And it's got some decent articulation for a figure this size. You know, he's got knee bends, and his arms rotate and stuff like that. So that's really nice that they kind of included this figure. He does have a mounted weapon-ish mode, and I'm not entirely... It shows in the instructions how you're supposed to do it, and I still don't really get it. So in the instructions it basically says, you know, fold him up like he was in vehicle mode, just like this, right? And then take the arms and rotate them forward like that, and then move the dish forward like that. And then you just pop this little teeny tiny peg out, and you can plug him onto Omega Supreme's shoulder. And I don't get it for this. I'll show it off once he's in robot mode, you know, if I think of it. But yeah, so this is basically that. So without further ado, that's the accessories. Let's take a look at Omega Supreme himself. Alright guys, so here we have Titan class Omega Supreme, and just to do a quick size comparison, here is Refractor, just chilling out on the various ramps and roadways that attach Supreme front and back, and it's really cool. Let's see if I can give you a little bit of a turnaround here. So first of all, we've got the rocket, which we'll get into. Which I do apologize, it's a little hard for the lights to get all the way over here, but I'm going to try and kind of get some lighting going here. So we've got the rocket, which is very large. It's like as long as my arm. You've got the claw on the end here. You can see the bottom here where you can attach some of the flame effect parts. Unfortunately, it's a little fidgety as far as staying together, all the different panels and things. So that's kind of a little bit of an issue, at least with mine. But I don't know if I'm just like, I might have to have it in just a certain turned way. I may be holding it incorrect. I don't know. But for the most part, it stays together all right. And you can see there's a little cockpit area in there. There is some molded detail inside. It's a little hard to make out, but that just closes right up. And you've got yourself a very large rocket. And that just goes right over there. Then if we move in a little bit here, we can take a look at some of the other parts of this set. We've got the tank part. Unfortunately, the top turret does not rotate just because Supreme's head is kind of just stuck behind there. But you do have these other cannons that can raise and lower, as well as the center cannon does raise and lower. You've got some wheels on the bottom. The treads are just painted. They don't actually move, but you do have rolling wheels. And they do fit on the track, so it can like roll around the track. You can see here is Countdown chilling out on the track as well. But it can roll around the track. Maybe a little janky, but you got it. If I can show you guys without breaking it. Got Prowl here. Can also roll around the track. So you got some options there. Really very cool. Lots of cool stuff. You got ramps here. You do have connector points I have it raised on the other side, not on this one. And it's very, very difficult to actually get up. But you do have connector points for the various ramps and things from the other, not Siege line, but the other, like, War for Cybertron and Titan series. So, like, Titan's Return, Headmasters, all that kind of stuff can attach right there, as well as these other ramps you can see over here coming down from this kind of center base area. These also have attachment points. I'm not sure exactly how you'd attach those. Maybe you could, raise it up and have like ramps going over this section. But you've also got the same connector points here. So if you really wanted to, you could make a separate sort of scenario, and you can attach these circular parts to one another and make just one circular ramp off to the side and have this guy connected to other various things. You got some nice details here. You've got some rockets hidden underneath these covers. And it's pretty much just a wide open space here. But let's detach the ramp so I can kind of show off some of the details a little bit closer. Not of the ramps themselves, but of Omega. If I can actually get this detached without breaking anything. So just lifting this guy up, you can see some nice paint work, and that's one of the big deals with Omega here. No stickers anywhere in this figure. It's all paint work. It's all painted on. All the details are painted. All the battle damage. And the battle damage is not all of the silver paint that I know a lot of people don't like. It's just these kind of blast burns, which I think really add to the figure and don't detract at all, in my opinion. But so you've got this basic base, and it goes around to the back. You can see some of the details here. Just really, really nice details overall. So very, very cool. And then, of course, the vehicle here, the tank, can open up, and you can attach Countdown, which I'll just transform really quickly here, just to kind of show you guys what's what. Countdown. So you've got Countdown in vehicle mode now. You can actually, there's a little spot here where he will fit right in, and you can close this up and kind of keep him in there. And you could probably leave him in there even in robot mode, although you may have to move some stuff around because the this cannon barrel does go through this section for robot mode. So very, very cool. So speaking of robot mode, let's go ahead and get Omega Supreme transformed. Alright, so the first thing you want to do for transformation is you want to detach these roadways, which are covered in the little 3mm ports, so you can actually take the, the blast effects that are included, or the blast effects from other figures, and attach them all over the place, should you so desire. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and fold these ramp bits up, and then fold this section, and then take the whole thing and just sandwich it in half. And there are tabs. It holds together, not the tightest, but once it's actually attached to Omega, it really doesn't matter. So do that and just put it off to the side. I'll do the same for this one. Fold everything down, and then just sandwich it together. And just put it off to the side. Then we're going to go ahead and take the main body here. We're going to flip up this little crotch piece, which is just a stabilizer for when it's in base mode. We're going to go ahead and extend the legs out, which I should show off. Also has little storage areas in there, and I've just used that to hold the blast effect parts when I'm not using them. So you've got that on both legs. So you want to take that leg, and we're going to go ahead and grab this ramp that's attached and fold it around, and there's a tab right here and a slot right here, and you're just going to press that together and then bring that leg down. And do the same on the other side. Extend the knee out, bring this around, fold it and tab it, and then bring that down. And then you want to just rotate the waist, and there you have the empty shell of what will be Omega Supreme. Next, we're going to go ahead and take the tank, open this section up, which can be a little tricksy. We're going to go ahead and take these guns and bend them at this midpoint here. Then we're going to go ahead and bring this back section up. It does tab in right here. You can see this little tab. There's a slot in the back, and this whole section is going to come down. And then there's this little white clip, which is kind of a problem for me because I feel like I'm worried about this white little clip breaking. I don't feel it's the most secure thing in the world. I mean, it is secure when it tabs in, but I'm concerned about the longevity. I think I may have preferred maybe just 5mm pegs or something like that, that even if it wasn't as stable as this, I would feel better about it lasting and not breaking, because these clips, as you can see, are very, very thin, and I'm a little concerned that they might break. But that said, you want to bring this down and just clip that together. You can see more clips and things like that. And then this top half is going to rest back like this. You're going to bring these weapons forward and tuck them into these holes here. And they're just going to kind of rest like that. Then this cannon bit, you're going to rotate it around and then rotate this whole section around to form the chest. Hopefully it won't get stuck like it's doing now. What's going on over here? There we go. Alright. Something was just getting stuck weirdly. Alright, so you can see Omega's face now. I'll just show it close up here. Omega's face, he does have light piping. It's a little hard to... but you can actually... I'll show you once I get him together. It's a little floppy right now. But once you get all that set, you can go ahead and bring this section back up. Close that up. And that's going to come over here. You're just going to slot this whole thing right in. And it's going to clip into place. You're going to go ahead and bring these sections down. Clip them into place. And then the section is going to come up and just tab in. And then once that is done, you can go ahead and bring the head up. It's on a neck section, so the head can actually rotate around. And then this can come up and raise just like that. Alright, and now it's time to deal with this big old rocket. So the first thing you want to do is just take the tip of the rocket and just press it in just like that, shorten that up. And then next, we're going to go ahead and open up these flaps that you'll find here and here. And then we're going to go ahead and bring this whole section around just like this. And it's on a big black accordion joint, so you just want to push this back just like that. And then we're going to take these flaps, fold them in, just like that. Next up, we are going to grab Omega here. We're going to go ahead and rest this thing with the flat side up. You can actually see he's got a corresponding vacancy in his back. And there's a little tab there. It's a little hard to see, but it's a little clippy bit. You just want to go ahead and I know I'm saying go ahead and a lot, but you know, that's me. And just press it in until you hear the click. And that's that. Then we can lift these panels up and just kind of rest them like so. Bring our flappy bits, the roadways. You can see there's this little, not little, but this large tab with this little channel in it. And that is going to slide in right here on the back. So you just want to go ahead and slot that right in. Just like that. Do the same on the other side. There we go. And then there are two slots right here in the back, and there are two tabs on these, what will kind of look like thruster bits or canisters or whatever, and you just push this in until those click into place. Turn this bad boy around, bring the arms down, and then pull that section down. Rotate the arm, bring this guy down, pull the whole arm section down, rotate it around, and there we have Omega Supreme in robot mode. And boy, he is a large one. Again, for reference, here we have Refractor chilling over there. Just for giggles, here is Combiner Wars Devastator. Just to give you an idea of the size of Omega Supreme. So I would say size-wise he is roughly on par with Fort Max and Metroplex. I did not actually transform Metroplex or Fort Max into robot mode to compare them because they are in storage and it was just too much of a hassle to actually get them out. So I apologize for that, but I hope you will forgive me. But we've got some nice articulation here I want to go over real quickly. So the head I showed you before is on this neck joint, so it can go up and down a little bit, rotate all the way around. So you got some nice articulation there. Of course, these do lift up, so you can still access those rockets in the shoulder if you so desire. And you could probably even finagle these bits out if that's something you're into. See if I can actually accomplish that, because this section here is very, very tight. But yeah, you could, I guess in theory, have that pop out as well. But then you have to deal with getting it all back into place, which might be less than ideal. There you go. But it all does go back into place. You've got arm rotation here. Arms go out to the sides, all on nice heavy ratchets. Just like that. You do get rotation in the hand, and all these fingers are also on ratchet joints. The mid finger is articulated, not ratcheted, but you know, doesn't really need to be. But you didn't get that cool effect, so you can put your blast effect in there and get kind of a cool, let's see if I can throw it together real quick for you. Get that cool blast from there, and you could do pretty much the same with the other arm. So you get dual action blasting. He does, of course, have the waist rotation. I showed that off before. He's got nice heavy leg articulation out to the side. He does have a thigh swivel. He does have that knee bend, and he of course has the ankle tilts. Overall, he is a very big bot. Very hefty, very large, very cool looking. He's got a real long torso. He is seriously a Johnny Long torso, but he wears it well. I think is a really nice representation of Omega Supreme. The first real like G1-y Omega Supreme that I've ever owned, I had the Armada or whatever it was, one Energon, Cybertron, I don't know. It was the Unicron Trilogy Omega. I had that one. And that's a really cool figure. I still like it to this day. Again, in storage, I couldn't break it out. But this is like my first official G1 like Omega Supreme figure. And it's really cool. It looks the part. It feels premium. Like I said, there are no stickers. It's all paint. And he's just got a nice heft to him. And I like the way he transforms. I like how cohesive he is in all of his different modes. And even though he is kind of a parts former, I think that's sort of what he's supposed to be. And I think he does that job exceptionally well. So, very cool figure. I'm very happy I picked it up. It should be showing up soon in store. Well, I don't know if it's going to be showing up in brick and mortar stores, but it should be available in a lot of online stores. And I'm sure they'll try and get more stock in around the holidays. So just keep looking. If your particular outlet is out of stock at the moment, just keep checking back. They'll probably restock before too long. But really happy to have this figure. And yeah, so that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It really does help me out. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more. Oh, I forgot I was going to show you off this little thing, so we'll do this again. Just move these forward. And he does have little ports up in his shoulder, so you can just plug that in right there. And there you go. That's that mode. Yeah, so thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.